Hello, YouTube. How's it going? How are we doing today? Welcome, everybody. Welcome, people. Welcome. Hope you're all doing well. I figured we'd hang out just a little bit today. This is not going to be a super long stream, but it's been a minute since I did a stream that is Yakuza related. Well, do you count the Among Us streams? I mean, I guess if you do, it hasn't been that long, but yeah, we got a tier list today. We're going to be ranking a bunch of characters. I figured this would be a good idea because it would give us the chance to, you know, talk about the story a little bit, talk about the characters, maybe see, you know, what each of us thinks, and who knows, maybe it's going to be like an eye-opening experience for all of us. Maybe somebody is gonna bring up something that I didn't think about, and vice versa, you know what I mean? So yeah, this will be fun. Okay, just give me 1 second. Yeah, welcome everybody, welcome. Hope you're all doing well. Okay, just asking, is the balance okay, like between my mic and the song? Yo, Isaac, thank you for the 32 months, buddy. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my god. I forgot to add Jack the Collector and Keith. Hold on. How the fuck could I do that? Hold on. Just gonna add those two real quick, and then we'll continue, okay? You didn't see anything. By tomorrow, you'll forget this ever happened. All of you. None of this happened. I didn't forget about Keith. Or Jack the Collector. Shut up. Shut up! Holy. Why is there a 4K picture of Keith? Everyone else, it was like, I don't know, less than 720p. Keith gets a fucking 4K image. What the hell? Okay. Yo, Ty Bell, thank you for the 17 months. 17, thank you. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Hope work goes well. Thank you. Okay, let's add the 2 missing characters. 1, 2, boom. There we got them. Yo, 7 is back at it with the 50 gifted subs. This person is unstoppable. Thank you. Hope you're doing well, 7. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. Thank you. Yo, Poli, how you doing? Congratulations, everybody. The alerts are gonna go insane. Okay, someone is rich. We all thought the same, but if you remember the 7 lore, it's not that actually. It's just currency differences. 50 gifted subs is pretty cheap for where they live, and that explains all of it. Yeah, Argentina. That is a lot of memberships, yeah. Okay, I feel like we need a more chill theme for this. Hold on. Let's play a very specific theme. Is it this? Yeah, there we go. This works. Yo, Psychic Girl, welcome. Welcome. $2 for 50 memberships. Nice. You broke the cheat code. You broke the economy. Okay. Are we good to go? Should we start? Wait, let me bring you guys over here. It's a little lonely without you. Hold on. There we go. Are we good to go? Should we start? Yes or no? I don't think I'm missing any characters. This should be all of them. And I even included Rodriguez's, like, dad. But, like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people wouldn't even consider him. Let's go. Okay, should we? Okay. Welcome, everybody. This is the tier list for the Yakuza, Pirate Yakuza story characters. We're going to be talking about each character in the story of Pirate Yakuza. We'll be talking about, you know, whether they were good or whether they were bad, like the good and the bad. We might just go through, like, you know, what they brought to the story real quick, and I'll rank them accordingly. So we have about 19 characters. Some of them are arguably a stretch, but, you know, they might still be worth mentioning. So I just brought them over to the list. Okay. So I'm gonna be doing actually a very specific order. It's kind of actually wait, no. I wanted to do the order in which you meet the characters, but that's not gonna go well because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna mess it up. But I'm gonna start with Majima. Okay, ranking Majima is actually kind of difficult for this game because he has a bunch of good moments, but a lot of it is like, you know, the goofy pirate stuff, right? I think Chapter 1 was amazing for Majima, and the final chapter was also amazing for Majima. But everything in between is kind of a hit or miss. Like, he does have good moments, but it's like, I don't know. My favorite Majima moments in this game are the ones, like the, do you guys remember that one cutscene in the very beginning where he, like, saves Jason and, what's her name? Moana as well? From, like, the pirates? That was amazing. I love that. The fact that they're actually, you know, putting in some, choreography for the fighting in cutscenes, that's amazing. That's one of my favorite parts about recent RGG games. I think they've been doing amazing with that, and I like, we need more of those. We have a good number of them in Pirate Yakuza, but, you know, you can never have enough of them. I'm torn between A or B. I'm not sure which one, like, which of these two ranks to put him. Like, he has a lot of good moments in this game, but I don't know if I would say it's, like, Majima's best game, story-wise, right? You have Yakuza 0. Is this a spoiler-free discussion, or can we talk spoilers? No, I mean, I am going to talk about spoilers for the game, so if you are looking out for that, you know, be careful. Probably best to leave. I'm going to be mentioning spoilers from other games as well. I'm going to try not to hold back on that. But yeah. Yeah, Majima had good moments, but other times it's just, I don't know. It's really difficult to explain. I can't put it into words, but yeah, there were good moments, but there were also like a bunch of just meh moments. I don't want to spend too much time on every single character, so let's just move on. And then we have Noah. What was the second name? Noah Rich, I believe, right? Not gonna lie to you guys. Not very sold on Noah. Like, you know, I get the purpose behind his existence in the story. Like, you know, I think he does work well enough for the story, but I don't know. Like, he wasn't anything special in my opinion. He was just okay. You could argue he was there to give Majima, like, a reason to, like, bring out his paternal instinct and all that. He's okay. He's not bottom tier. He's okay. He's just okay. I know, you know, as you do with tier lists, you might be looking at, like, C tier. You're like, oh man, Devil Leon hates this character. No, not really. I just think he's fine. And B is like, yeah, they're good. They're just okay. He's a good kid, Leon. I know. But going by that, every single... Well, actually, no. that would be saying every single... Now, maybe it's better not to say it, actually, so I'm gonna hold myself for now. I've seen people talk about Noah's character in the story, like, you know, they would bring up the fact that why is this kid... Like, why does he want to throw himself smack dab in the middle of, like, criminal dens with, like, murderers, thieves, and what have you? You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, when you think about it, it's like... I get it, we're not supposed to take it too seriously, but at the same time, it's like... Wow. He goes to all of these places, and then we act surprised when something bad happens to him. It's like... Yeah, that is kind of dumb. You know? With characters like, for example, Haruka, it's a completely different scenario. It's not even close. You know? But with Noah, it is like... Like, sometimes you just ask yourself, why? But yeah, see, I don't think he's terrible. He's okay. And then we'll talk about, what's his name? Jason. Jason! The father of Noah. Maybe this is... Okay, no. It would be unfair to put him above Majima, right? Because, yeah, I think this is a good spot for him. Kind of below Majima. I do actually like Jason, I think, more than the average player for this game. I think he has a sick design. And he's cool. He's cool. I think that's good enough of a reason, right? A lot of us love Yakuza characters because they're cool. They have aura. They aura farm all the time. But do they have substance? Maybe not necessarily. But sometimes a character just hits for you. And that's all it takes. That's all it takes for you to put them in, like, a decent tier. Fellas, name 5 characters in the Yakuza franchise that are all about aura, but no substance. If I had to give a couple of examples, in my humble opinion, I think Ryuji's like that. Ryuji has aura, but the substance, questionable. Jungi. Kuze. Okay, I don't know about Kuroiwa. Kuroiwa does have both, in my opinion, but... Hayashi. Hayashi does have... Yeah, that's actually a perfect example. Hayashi and Shindo, I would say as well. Hayashi and Shindo both have aura, but they don't have much substance to them. They're cool, though. They're cool, you know? So, people would put them in S tier. Nothing wrong with that. Kanai. There you go. Kanai has aura. But yeah, Jason is a cool character. I don't think he's horrible. Also, yeah, somebody earlier mentioned the tag heat action. It is really cool. They actually made a brand new heat action for this dude, and it's amazing. So, good stuff overall. And I've seen some, like, discussions about Jason where, like, he doesn't do much in the story. Especially given that he's Noah's dad. Like, Majima himself takes that role from Jason, right? But at the same time, like, how do I explain it? This family in particular, the rich family... I mean, it's pretty obvious, but, like, they're not your typical kind of family. They live on a freaking island that's in the middle of nowhere, and they have pirates for customers in their, like, dingy little bar, and, like... There's a lot of irregularities about them. But for what it's worth, within the context of Pirate Yakuza's story, I think Jason is cool. Okay. Who do we have next? Let's talk about Moana. I'm thinking of adding a tier that is purely just missed potential. Where do we... below. There we go. No. There we go. Missed potential. Red. They introduce Moana, who is Noah's sister and Jason's daughter. She has, like, what, 2 scenes? That's it? Like, way later in the story, she gets kidnapped, and that's, like, the only thing she does. Believe it or not, I do like her, but she does nothing. Like, she literally does nothing. So, it's hard for me to even put her in D. Because she She barely does anything. I don't know. I think one way to utilize her would be to, like, have her join the pirate crew. Like, even if she's just like a support character in the ship battles, I wouldn't mind that. I would probably maybe put her in D, but you know, she doesn't even have that. Yeah. It's unfortunate, but she barely does anything. Okay, I think we should talk about Masaru next. Ooh, Masaru. You know, just for live action, he should probably be in S tier. Also, hold on, let me fix chat real quick. You know, I'm kind of curious. What does chat think of Masaru? I'm not actually going to put him in S, by the way. Don't worry. I'm just, like, it's temporary. But I am curious, like, where would chat put Masaru? Live action S tier for all our trauma. Yeah. Peak, somebody says. Peak! He's weird. I'm sorry. He is weird. I died of cringe in that. Negative Riz for sure, okay? That's what chat has to say. A for absolutely hilarious. No live action, C tier. For me, it's C tier. Low A, high B. Better chef than... Okay. Mods, can you please show Reap Sykes the way out of here? Better chef than Zhao? No. Cap! That is hard cap, dude. Don't even start. I actually don't know if I like Masaru more than Jason or not. But, okay, here are the facts. Masaru has more fights than Jason does. You fight Jason once. Now, mind you, the fight is pretty cool. I love the fight against Jason. Like, you have a dynamic intro, you have a QT. It's just a cool fight, even though he has, like, the generic theme. But I think the generic boss fight theme in this game is pretty cool. Masaru has his own theme, and he has one dynamic intro, and I believe, what, 2 fights? One of the fights has a QTE. He's cool. He's cool, but, like, he's either high C for me or low B. I don't know which one to settle for. Yo, Dreamcast? Yeah, comically large cleaver. Okay, let's put him here for now. I think this is a good spot. Okay. I got his... Oh yeah, his heat action. I forgot to talk about his heat action. Pretty good heat action. Both him and Jason have, like, new heat actions. It's just really cool to see. I always appreciate when they go the extra mile for the characters. But yeah, I think Masaru is gonna chill here. Oh, should have said this way earlier, but yeah, this dude... you know, he joins you after deciding that his previous crew was a bit too cruel. And since Majima stole the ship, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna tag along. Yeah. And then he just helps us. Masaru eating the bat rivals Hamazaki Duckhead. Yeah, but Hamazaki has those animations though. Have you seen his face? Goddamn. But Masaru has the crunch. Okay, who do we talk about next? Maybe Keith. Keith does show up, like, really early. I think if I put him anything below this... Chat is gonna be angry at me, so, what do you... what do you guys say? Yeah? God, how did Keith become such a meme? Like, it's insane how much of a meme this guy became. Oh, I think it's... Right, it probably... It 100% is because you fight him, like, what, 6 times? Right? Okay, chat... Better than Kuze? Okay, I don't know about that. Stop it. Stop it. S tier, I can take. Better than Kuze? I don't know about that. He does have the most fights in the series in a single game. I'm actually curious, does he? Out of, like, the big names, I'm sure he does, because, like, Kuze, you fight him, like, 5 times. And I think that was, like, the top. The closest next thing would be like what? Kanai? Maybe like a bunch of the bosses in Yakuza 6, which you fight multiple times. Actually, in Yakuza 6, pretty much every single unique character, or every single unique villain character, you fight multiple times. You fight Koshimizu multiple times, you fight Jungi multiple times, you fight Ed multiple times, you fight Nagumo multiple times. Yeah. Yo, confused. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Keith, I mean, if we're being real, yeah, like Keith is, he's literally just like the obstacle character. Oh, speaking of obstacle, you know who's a good contrast? Akutsu. Akutsu is an obstacle character, but he's an S tier. He's so good at what he did. Keith, on the other hand, is like, I don't know if I should take him seriously or not, you know what I mean? Because, like, he just shows up, leaves, shows up, leaves. And, I don't know, like, he doesn't really do anything. He's just there to be angry. Akutsu was peak, yeah. Man, Lost Judgment had a lot of cool characters. Okay, let's talk about Jack the Collector next. He's gonna join his buddy down there in the D tier. Heck, actually, hold on. There, that might be better for them. Because, I don't know, I feel like they're even below D tier characters, which we don't have anyone at D tier at the moment, but, like, they're just there to job, that's it. You don't give a shit about them. Yeah. Like, for example, even this guy, this old dude that does nothing except, like, lay down and throw some rocks in the river, he does have some value in this story. You know? He adds some, like, Bryce lore, which is something. But, I actually might as well just put him here for now. But yeah, so this, for those who don't remember, or maybe you didn't play the game, this dude is the father of Rodriguez, this dude over here. And, yeah, his whole purpose is to, like, add some background lore to, Bryce, which was one of the main villains in Infinite Wealth. And, yeah, there's like a very specific couple of tidbits that he has something to do with in the story. But, you know, even then, it's something. He does something, unlike those two. Do you count the dance? Of course. Did you see how he broke it down? Like, goddamn. Okay, speaking of this dude, Rodriguez. I think Rodriguez was pretty solid. Pretty cool looking character. I mean, he does like just have the Polyconic garb, but I do think he looks intimidating. He has a couple of fights. They may be a bit underwhelming, but they are pretty cool. He does have one quick time event, and the story, as far as like the story events go, he does a couple of stuff, right? At first, you might think he's gonna betray you. I might have mentioned this before, but I thought he was gonna be the final boss. I thought he just reminded me a lot of Shishido. So I was like, you know what? He's probably going to be the final boss. But it turns out, no, he's actually a bro. And that scene where he does reveal himself to be a bro as well is pretty solid. I really liked that scene. I don't think I expected it to happen. Again, I thought he would just double cross us and he'd be against us. But no, he's pretty solid. Also, thank you, Indolent, for the super chat. Thank you, thank you. None of the Pirate Yakuza's villains comes close to Manakata, my wife. Facts, my brother. Spit your shit indeed. Are you who I think you are on Twitter? I only know one person who simps after Manakata. Okay. But yeah, Rodriguez, A tier. I think he's pretty cool. Like, he contributed way more than, for example, Jason or Masaru in the story, and yeah. Anyway. Who do we go for next? I guess we can talk about Saejima. Okay, fight me. Saejima has moments in this game that portray him better than Yakuza 4 and 5. Okay, maybe not Yakuza 4. Saejima has moments in this game that portray him better than a game like Yakuza 5 does, and also, arguably, Yakuza Like a Dragon, even though he doesn't really do much in there. And Infinite Wealth. They gave Saejima everything that I wanted out of, you know, his inclusion in his story in this game, and then some. So one of the things that I'm referring to, you guys must have noticed, right? Like how they talk about dreams in this game, like more than you'd think they would, especially at the end as well. The theme of dreams, I think, was portrayed better in this game than 5. And dreams in particular is something that Saejima brings up. And it's kind of funny to say that, or it's kind of weird to say that, because this game is like... It's way over the top compared to 5, right? But I think 5 maybe tries a little too much to, like, tell that moral of dreams, that it just kind of becomes a bit of an entangled mess, right? In this game, it was straightforward. Like, they drove it home fair and simply... stumbling over my words. They drove home the idea of dreams very well in this game, is what I'm trying to say. Anytime Saejima sat down to have like a heart-to-heart with Majima was amazing. We barely got to see any of that in any of the previous games. Not in Infinite Wealth, not in 7, barely in 5. Actually, do we even have any in 5? Like, in all of those games, it's just like they sit down to talk about business, right? Whatever is going on in the story of those games, like which faction is attacking now, oh, what do we do as a counterattack, that sort of thing. But in this game, you see a lot of casual interactions between him and Majima, and it's just really good to see. And also, for once, like, if you were to ask me at least, a lot of Saejima's motivations for being in the story made a lot of sense. He's like, Majima, what the hell are you doing here? Get your ass back to Japan. You know what I mean? Whereas, in the previous games, it just kind of felt like they wanted to have Saejima in the story, so they just kind of came up with whatever. And to be fair, the story of Pirate Yakuza, you can say the same about it, where they just wanted to pirate game, so they did this whole game. But, you know, credit where it's due. I feel like Saejima was almost the voice of the player in this game. Like, just wondering what the hell is Majima doing out here, you know? But yeah, S tier. I think S tier for Saejima is great. Oh yeah, he has a remix. The fight against him is amazing. And any moment in the story where he teams up with you is also great. What can I say? S tier. I think he's probably the best character in this game, story-wise. His presence here feels just as right as it did in 7. I agree. Arguably even more so, if you were to ask me. Purely because, you know, we actually do see him talking, and you see him doing stuff in this game compared to 7. But yeah. Who do we go for next? Do we talk about Goro? Is it time for Goro just yet? It's time we talk about the Dagu. I'm gonna be real with all of you. I have no idea where to place Goro. Like, even taking into account everything we know about him. Yes, he scratched Saejima. Yo, Seijuro, thank you for the 14 months, buddy. Thank you, thank you. Really appreciate it. Goro or Goro from that sub-story with the cute voice acting? To this day, I haven't done that sub-story. Confession. I should probably do it because I see a lot of people talking about it. Missed potential? Wait. What did you want to have Goro do? Is what I'm wondering. Missed potential? Worst sub-story of all time. Okay, that sub-story, I've seen people say it's peak, and then I've seen people say it's absolute dog shit. There's like no in between. It's one or the other. He should have eaten Keith. Okay, no disagreements there. Poop on Saejima. Missed potential. He should have pooped on Saejima. Do you really want to write that on your resume? If you don't put him on S, we have a problem. Uh-oh. Chat is threatening me. Okay, what if we put him in A? Somebody in chat says, that sub-story with female talking Goro made me feel some type of way. Uh-oh. Is it really that kind of sub-story? We haven't even said anything about Goro yet. Okay, so Goro is voiced by Nakaya, the dude who voices Ichiban, which is certainly a choice. Adorable little fella. He helps you out here and there. He actually does kind of do a couple of attacks in combat. Yeah, story-wise, he's just there to be adorable. How is this the most difficult one so far? I can't believe it. Why? Should we put him next to Noah and call it a day? I don't dislike Goro, mind you. It's just I don't know where to put Goro. C for cat. C, yeah, I can live with that. C for cat. Okay. I think, you know, he'll have some company with Noah there at least. Okay. Might as well talk about Queen Michelle. Queen Michelle goes to missed potential. Holy crap. They dropped the ball on Queen Michelle so hard as well. I think her introduction is solid. And, you know, they did a good job portraying that she's a bloodthirsty kind of monarch kind of character. And then you get to her death scene and it's like, what the hell happened here? Like, there could have been so many other ways, or at least a few other ways, to maybe write her out of the story, or even, like, make her like an opponent in, you know, the late game. I think the ship battle against her at the very end was cool. Maybe she could have just been, like, a gun character or something, like, just anything. I wouldn't mind more, like, you know, female characters that fight back. I don't know, they could have... They could have cooked something. I'm not saying I have exactly, like, you know, the idea that they should have gone with, but they could have done something. What a waste. I feel like it was just a big waste the way she died. It was like Froob said in the podcast, I believe. They felt the need to, like, write her out somehow. And what better way than to, like, give, you know, the final boss, like, an extra reason for you to, I guess, fight him or hate him. It really does feel like that's the train of thought they went with. But yeah. Good value, Lady D. Yeah. Anyway, this guy is the funniest case of missed potential. Like, put aside Queen Michelle, put aside Moana. Mortimer is like, what the hell were they thinking, man? You go to the website for this game, right? It's even worse than Wong To, I would argue, because what the fuck, dude? He doesn't do anything. Anything at all. You have a website for Pirate Yakuza where they showcase the characters, and you know, you come across this dude with a fedora and, like, you know, gun in hand, sword in the other hand, and you're like, wow, this guy is cool. Oh, and he's also voiced by the voice actor of Baba from Yakuza 5. You know, welcome back, my dude. You know, I'm excited to see what you do in this game. What does he end up doing? He drops a pretty cool fight. Pretty cool track. The fight also is kind of gimmicky, which is cool. It makes him stand out. Literally, right after the fight, somebody pulls the cutscene gun. Pow, 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 pow. And it wasn't even like a couple of gunshots or 3 gunshots. No, that dude unloaded the whole fucking magazine into Mortimer. it was comical levels of hilarious. It's like, was that really necessary? Like, did you have... Okay, I get you wanted to kill him. 5 bullets should have been enough, right? Why did you have to unload like 15 bullets? You know? It was just like comical. Like, you couldn't take that scene seriously. As soon as it happened while I was streaming the game, I was like, okay, what the hell, bro? At least Akutsu lived to do something throughout the story. Mortimer is like if Akutsu died after the first fight, you know? Yo, Maya, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Thank you, thank you. Hell yeah. Thank you. His design is just an attractive Bacchus. I do kind of see it, yeah. He'll come back to run a bar in Yakuza 9. Man, you know, one of these days, maybe I should, like, make a live stream where I just rant purely about RGG's recent, like, story direction. Because, like, contrary to popular belief, it's not that I think Pirate Yakuza, for example, has, like, a, I don't know, like, a great story by any means. It's just, I stopped caring about the story, like, years ago. I don't give much of a crap about the stories, honestly. Like, if there's cool moments, amazing. Like, you know, Saejima in this game, amazing. And then you have Mortimer, okay, I guess they decided to do that, right? But mainly, I'm just here for, like, you know, the soundtrack, the characters, the gameplay. And yeah, I feel like at least on those fronts, they still deliver. Even if sometimes they take backwards steps, like in Pirate Yakuza as well. But, you know, it is what it is. 9 hours. Okay, no, I'm not gonna rant for 9 hours, guys. Come on now. The aura and hype moments. I would like to hear your thoughts. Something feels odd about the series. It's not bad, it's just odd choices. No, I agree with you. I agree. But maybe that's a topic for another time, because if we talk about it now, like Marcelo said, we'd be sitting here for like 9 hours, so... Yeah, let's just put Mortimer in missed potential tier and move on for now. Okay. Who do we talk about next? Shigaki. I think Shigaki's also one of the better characters in this game. Okay, I think the one thing that might divide people is the scene where he, like, fucks up and betrays you. But, like, in a half-assed kind of way. But if you ask me, that behavior where he's like, he wants to kind of betray you, but also he's not sure, it's very realistic. Because, like, he's so confused at that moment, he doesn't know what to do, who to believe, so he wants to take Noah hostage. He ends up stabbing Jason, and yeah, he's like, what the fuck did I just do? And, you know, right after that, they don't waste a lot of time trying to, like, redeem him or whatnot. Majima's just like, you know, you've done something you shouldn't have done. But forget about that for now. We have something to do. We have a job to do. If you want to, like, atone for what you just did, join us. And he does just that. And yeah, Shigaki was great. I enjoyed this character in this game. If there's one complaint that I have for both Rodriguez and Shigaki, it's just the structure of Pirate Yakuza itself. You know? Like, you know, the infamous chapter 2 where the story takes like a nosedive and you know, the pacing is all over the place. It kind of just muddies the story a little bit. But, you know, if we were to just try and consider the characters on their own, I think those two are A tier. Yo, Koala, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Thank you, thank you. Best character was the return of Laogui with that one animation. Yeah, that was unexpected. Okay. So Shigaki was great. Also, yeah, he's the live-action actor for Majima in the show. Okay. Tucker. I'll give him something. He was funny. That's about it. He was funny. When he went from 80% of the share to 10%, that was peak, not gonna lie. And the fact that he actually ends up, like, teaming up with you and, like, all of you plan out this like major like treasure hunt. I thought that was kind of nice actually. But like that's about it. Actually, wait, no. I would probably put him above Noah. Is that crazy? I don't know. Like think about it. Not only is he funny in a couple of scenes, and not only did he put up like this whole heist situation, but also he was the one who was indirectly responsible for the dance scene at the very end. And that dance scene is a 10 out of 10 for me. I loved it. So I think he can chill over here. The whole treasure hunt plot gave me Uncharted vibes. Yes. Good comparison. Yeah. Yeah, I think a low B is not too crazy either, but B is going to be a bit crowded, so I think high C is good enough. His character was too inconsistent, like they didn't know if you were supposed to like him or not. Yeah, fair enough. And also, if I had to list like something that was kind of obnoxious about him, you had to go through how many tests was it? Like 2 or 3? In order to actually get to him, and even then he had like a bulletproof glass standing in your way between, you know, Majima and him. It's like, dude, I get it, you're careful, but like, sheesh. But yeah, I think this is a good placement for him. Okay. This is Naomi, right? I mixed up between the two. Yeah, that's Moana, this is Naomi. Naomi is a contender for missed potential, I feel, but she wasn't that bad. Like, you could put her here, or you could put her in the middle. Because she did at least a couple of things compared to, like, her sister. She was a little more involved. Naomi made me mad. Go on. We're listening. Yeah, I think she barely escapes missed potential. Nice, so I hope you have fun with it. Okay, where would you guys put her? So we have D or missed potential, C or low B, C, C, C. Okay, a lot of C's. I wish Leon streamed more. I'll stream more, but it's not going to be Yakuza. You fine with that? Okay, I'm seeing a lot of C's. Okay, I think C is also fair for her. And again, if you were to put it down here, that's also fair. But yeah, I think the fact that she joins you at the finale with Saejima, that was amazing. You actually get to see her in action. She also has a new moveset actually dedicated for her, which is really cool. But other than that, like, you know, she's kind of very behind the scenes throughout the story. She's, as you know, on Queen Michelle's side. So only after the queen dies can she actually technically do something to help you. And when she does help you, it's because of her family. She's cool. I definitely would like to see more characters like her. But please, like, do more with these kinds of characters, you know? She had potential to be, you know, one of the best female characters in the series, but, you know, given Pirate Yakuza's nature and all that, maybe it was kind of difficult, or like a tall order. 2.5 out of 3 women in missed potential says a lot about RGG writing. Okay, to be fair, okay, let's talk about that for a bit, okay? I know it's like, maybe not a fair comparison, but if you think about it, how many male characters do you have in like D tier and also like missed potential tier? There's quite a lot, right? There's a lot of male characters that nobody gives a shit about. So when you have like way less female characters, it's not a big wonder that a lot of them are also going to be like, you know, mid. Having said that, that's no excuse for RGG to not, you know, bring good writing. Do you think if the game was longer, these characters could have had more potential? That's a good question. I think, you know, as far as a pirate story goes, even that aspect could have been handled better. Like, they could have maybe tried to bring the balance of, you know, silly pirate and kind of relatively grounded. They could have nailed that a little better, maybe. To where, like, I don't know. Like, yeah, sure, there is a pirate adventure. But you still have, like, a... how do I say? I'm actually not sure how to convey this, but... yeah, generally speaking, if I just had to, like, give a, you know, a general idea, they could have tried to nail the serious and goofy balance a little better. Like, for example, actually, I just thought of an example. By the end of the game, you know, something might happen that is like a snap back to reality moment, you know what I mean? And so when you get to that moment, there is a major payoff because it's like, you know, what have we been doing all this time? And then you get a lot of, like, good moments that, that are something of a contrast to the first, like, 70% of the game. You know what I mean? Just an idea. Like, I'm not saying this is what they should have gone with, but I feel like even as a pirate story, they could have cooked more. Yeah, that's one way to put it, Gems. And also, yeah, like, I do wonder just how much of it is them, like, going, oh, you guys want longer games? Well, let's put all this, like, forced content. I wonder if that's actually influenced by fan feedback. Because as far as I know, at least with Nagoshi, he actually prided himself in not taking feedback, or not much feedback, so to speak. So I don't know if Yokoyama is the same or not. Yeah, I agree. I think the structure of this game is what gives a lot of the issues. Gaiden was a lot tighter writing. That's a very interesting conversation, because I have quite a bit to say about it as well. If you want, like, my quick thoughts on it, if you were to ask me, I think Gaiden also has a very similar problem to where the substance is very, like, thinly spread out. And then you have the same, like, Akame network problem, or, like, you know, the side story, like, advance in the side story until you can advance in the story problem. But at the same time, I can see why, you know, somebody might like Gaiden, but not Pirate Yakuza. Because, well, you know, the tone is completely different. And, yeah. Guidance for side content took like 2 minutes to do. I need to replay Gaiden one of these days, but yeah. I mean, Pirate Yakuza by default is just a longer game, so I think, yeah, it is only natural Gaiden is a shorter game. But, like, I'll give you an example of one of my problems with the first Gaiden. Why the fuck did they make it mandatory in the story to go to the hostess club? Like, there's no reason for that, especially with the way they presented that in Gaiden. You go to Akame, for no reason, she's like, oh, go to a hostess club. Why? I don't want to go to a hostess club. So, what should I do now? You know what I mean? Now, I know you can skip it relatively quick, but it's like, why? Why? The good thing about all Dragon Engine games is that, you know, you can skip a lot of things very quick. So there's that at least. Okay, I feel like I talked a lot about non-Pirate Yakuza stuff, but let's talk about the two precious boys, Nishida and Minami. I think Nishida's gonna be here for me. I think A tier is good for him. I am not as big of a fan of Nishida as I am of Minami. Now, you know, I know that they didn't do much in this game, but honestly, that might have been for the best. Because I'm just, like, thinking about how they could have butchered them if they had them do something more that didn't work out very well. You know what I mean? I think for what it's worth, they were more involved than I thought they would be. Like in a few of the scenes, they're just there in the background, like commenting like, oh, look, they're doing this, they're doing that. They were pretty funny, both of them. And the dynamic they both had was amazing. Like, you know, Nishida and Minami talking to each other. And Minami at one point making fun of Saejima, that was actual cinema. That was amazing. The fact that you get them both as crewmates, amazing. I'm so glad you get them. And also, an extra shout out to the fact that story crewmates are actually upgradable. So you can take them from golden rarity to diamond or whatever you want to call it. Amazing. It just makes me happy because, you know, the story characters will still be relevant, even when you have like the DLC characters, for example. So, Minami is always on my crew. And same thing for Nishida. Oh yeah, them interacting with Ichiban at the very end. I did not expect to see that, but I think it was amazing. I actually really liked that part. Yeah, amazing. Also, yeah, somebody brought up their drink links. Amazing. I'm so glad you actually do get like a one-on-one with them. Even if it's like, how long would it be? 15 minutes-ish? That's really good. I think that's really good. Yeah. And then we have the final boss of this game. This is gonna be an interesting one because, like, it's hard to put him up there. It really is. Unless you like Samoa Joe, like the real life, what's the word I'm looking for? The real life wrestler, then you might put him in S tier, but, personally speaking, I'm not familiar with him, so it's whatever. Like, I get it. He's like the ultimate pirate, and that was the logic behind, like, you know, the final boss of this game, and it worked well enough. I don't think it was horrible, but I don't know. I don't know if it's the fault of the structure of this game once again, or if it's just Raymond was not like a very good character. Maybe it's a combination of both. I don't know, but like, he's cool. You know, he's fairly intimidating. But that's it. He doesn't really have anything more to him, you know what I mean? He's no Kuroiwa, he's no Kawana. And it's funny I say that because technically those like aren't mainline Yakuza, but those are like some of the best bosses in the whole series. Yeah, he's just, you know, there. This is probably his best work in a video game. The other one was King Shark and Suicide Squad. Oof. Didn't feel like a final boss. I know what you mean when you say that. But you know, in spite of all of that, hold on. We gotta do this. I gotta show it to you guys, or we gotta hear it together. The theme that plays for Raymond Law. Oh, baby. Yo, so Maya, thank you for another super chat, buddy. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Interestingly enough, I didn't expect for this guy to have two themes, but he does. What was the second theme called again? Da, 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 da. Was it... I can't remember. Unrivaled, was it? No, not Unrivaled. Unyielding Spirit, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Actually, wait. Oh, here it is. Okay, just for like formality's sake, why don't we take a look at all of this together? So this is the dynamic intro. I don't think it's RGG's best work, you know, by far, but I think it's good. It's good. It's like, if we had like a dynamic intro tier list, it probably would be like B, maybe. I like it. I think the issue with this guy is that, to me at least, he kind of feels like Aizawa tier. The fight is pretty good, but like, I don't really care much for him, you know? And then you have like this transition, which was pretty cool. You have 2 transitions, which is pretty impressive. But then for whatever reason, there's like no final QTE. I think that's the only thing that was missing. To have like, you know, a complete fight. But yeah, like this was cool, you know, going from one arena to another. I think that's always a plus for, you know, Yakuza final bosses. That was great. And then, hold on, where was Unyielding Spirit, right? The beginning of this sounds like an Amon fight theme for some reason. The zip line, okay. But yeah, where did I put him again? Let's go back to the tier list. If I had to put him in a list, I think high C would be appropriate, or low B. Because, again, as a character, he's just whatever. But as a fight, the fight was solid. I enjoyed the fight. And I think that's it. Does chat have any questions? Would be glad to answer anything. Every fight in this game was over before the beat dropped. Hey, listen, if you upgrade your attack, sure, yeah, but I didn't do that. Oh yeah, this was intended to be a short stream. Just a nice little stream so that we can hang out. What's your skincare routine? So, you see, you wake up in the morning, which is funny I say morning, because, like, my sleep is super screwed right now. You wake up in the morning, you play a bit of Yakuza Dead Souls, and then you close that, you open up Yakuza Online on your phone, and then you go wash your face, and you're good to go. You're gonna look 20 years younger every single day doing that, and you're most welcome. Do a tier list for the crew members. Do we even have that on this website? Because I don't know if we do, if it does. Leon, did you see that they acknowledged that the Obitarian was immortal? I did not see that, no. I did not. Wait, hold on. Is it the Japanese RGG Studio Twitter, or is it the English one? Because I have no idea. Leon, you forgot to add Clark to the tier list. Okay, to be fair, Clark is like... First of all, who's Clark, chat? Do you know who Clark is? I bet you don't even remember him. And then you call yourself a true Yakuza fan. I don't know. Clark is like... a 50-50 if you would include him here. I think even Jack and Keith have actual story involvement in comparison. Do we know if Yakuza 0 Director's Cut isn't exclusive yet? It's a timed exclusive. So, after some time, it's gonna come out everywhere else. How long do we have to wait? I have no idea. Whitewashed what I say. Hey. The gambling table guy. Wait, who the hell is that? No, really, wait, what? Yeah, I think at maximum it's gonna be exclusive for like a year. A whole year, which is a lot of time. And because of that, I am probably gonna get a Switch 2. Forgive me, Lord, for I have sinned. Have you guys seen all the memes, by the way, about the Switch 2? Like people just saying, oh, this is how my Switch 2 library is gonna look like, and there's one game in there. Man, if I didn't have to, like, you know, make Yakuza 0 videos, I would not get a Switch 2, I don't think. At least not for a while. Yeah, $80 to $90 games. It sucks. Where would you rank Noah's mom as an extra? I think she's a more criminal case of not only missed potential tier, but also D tier. No, I think, actually, I mean, what could you do with her, you know? Wait for the game, Leon. Patience is a virtue. If I was just an average Joe, I mean, I am an average Joe, but if I didn't have this channel, I would wait, but, you know. Will the Yakuza 0 DC content even bring you back the $450 plus $70 for the game? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe? The thing is, the multiplayer mode has potential to be like a multi-stream thing, you know what I mean? You could literally just make like 20 streams of that. No problem. Hot take. I liked Rodriguez's father a lot, mainly because I found the lore of the whale rocks interesting. Yeah, fair enough. I'm somebody that really liked the added lore of Bryce as well, so I get you. Would be wild to see them actually charge 70 for Yakuza 0. Yeah. Dude, I think even at $50, people are like, what the fuck? You can get this game for like $5 on Steam, you know? So yeah, I get it, but inherently, I think this is a Nintendo problem, to be honest. Because, I mean, there's the whole price thing with them to begin with, you know? Nintendo games also, like, never going on sale. Nintendo is just messed up. They'll probably lower the price the moment it goes to other platforms. Yeah, I mean, it is a given. I think the physical version will be $70. Man. I wonder how replayable the Yakuza 0 maps will be. I think there's going to be a lot of replayability, you know why? They added the progression system. You can level up and, yeah, like... there is a grind, basically. I just don't know if it's like... you level up your account, or if you level up individual characters. If you level up individual characters, oh boy. There's gonna be a lot of reason to, or incentive to, play through the, multiplayer mode. I do kinda wish they went the extra mile and added characters from other games. That would have been really cool. Grinding Ginger chat, man, hell yeah. Man, there's so many nobodies, but then again, that's like the average, Coliseum in Yakuza, so... So we have 2 months until that drops. They should have made the bear playable. See, that's an idea. Legit, though. That would have been cool. Can't wait to play as a random Coliseum jobber. They could have added Kaito and the boys with low-res models. They could have, yeah. Director's Cut actually releases on my birthday. Ooh, okay. Daybreak 2 when... Okay, I'm actually thinking of starting that game like sooner than I intended. So maybe okay, maybe it's not a good idea to give it time window, but yeah. Let's just say that. Yeah, you do need to pay for the online membership as well. Dude, the funniest thing about the Switch 2 is that they have a button on the console itself, but you can't use that button if you don't have the online membership. It's the voice chat button. It's like, bruh. What the hell? Is Director's Cut a cartridge or a digital game key? I think it's going to be available in both forms. They have a physical release and a digital release. I did check out Tekken 8 Season 2, yeah. I'm probably in the minority because I'm not, like, a competitive player. But I do see why it's so hilarious, because, like, I've seen videos where Lydia comboed an opponent, like a death combo, from full HP to 0 HP. And that was ridiculous. People probably still use Discord, yeah. Until Discord gets infested with ads eventually, and then we move on to another application. If you get Director's Cut, will you play the English dub? I might, actually. I played Yakuza 0 so many times already, and I heard the Japanese dub so many times already as well, so the English dub is going to be new. The only cool thing in Switch 2 is that the Joy-Con can become a PC mouse. That is pretty cool, yeah, I agree. But it feels very, like, uncomfortable. At least based on what they showed on the showcase. Roblox voice chat, God forbid. Oh yeah, Chinese dub as well. Yeah, which... I feel like the more obvious choice would be to go with the English dub, but I don't know. Maybe chat would be feeling a bit spicy and they're like, yo, go with the Chinese dub instead. Yeah, I would love to see Alex Lay as Kiryu in the games as well. He did great in the show. I would play the English dub, but just because it's a massive amount of work, would be interesting to see if Sagawa has aura in English. Yeah? Yeah, but, like, you know, most of us at this point, Yakuza 0 is a game. I think it's like the most played game in the community. Like, everybody played that game. So, you could go for the Japanese voices again, like, no problem, but, you know, might as well change it up a little bit. I wonder if Yakuza 1 Nishiki will come back. Yeah, I don't think they confirmed the casting for Nishiki, but, you know. We'll see. It would be funny if it's just Kaiji Tang, but I don't know if I would put my money on that. Whew, okay, I think this is a good place to call it here, fellas. This was a fun little stream. We just wanted to, like, hang out a little bit, talk about Pirate Yakuza. I need to also continue uploading the story fights, so I will try to get on that. But I just want to say, fellas, thank you so much for joining and hanging out. I really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking up your time to be here. Right, so I'll continue uploading those Pirate Yakuza videos. And there's a Yakuza essay video that I've been meaning to make for a while now, and I put it on hold. I will try to get some work done on that, and we'll see how that goes. But until then, you guys take care, stay safe, and stay healthy. I will see you next time. Bye-bye, you guys.